Well, that was absolutely dreadful. We're outside of Gtech mainly. For Brentford 4, Newcastle United 2, and this is going to be a very, very disappointing last word. I'm going to tell you that for free. Yes, Lee and I are outside the Gtech. 4-2 to Brentford. No wins in 4. Really, really poor performance, particularly second half. The second half was absolutely dreadful, if I'm being really, really honest. Really, really poor today. I'm here with Lee. Lee, let's start with the team news. 2 changes, Sean Longstaff and Harvey Barnes come in for Anthony Gordon and Sandro Tonali. Did you agree with that?
Why?
Short turnaround?
Anthony Gordon's one with better players on Wednesday night, was he not?
I agree. I'm just saying, is that the only reason? Because it's a short turnaround, 2.5 days?
No, Anthony Gordon's played how many games this past 12 months, 18 months? Don't understand that. If it's a niggle, which we haven't heard from that, fair enough. Tonali was brilliant in the middle. I don't get that. I don't get it. We've questioned Eddie Howe the last cup results with some substitutions and in-game management. Starting off, I'm like, I didn't get it. I really didn't.
I thought Tonali was arguably the best midfielder we had on Wednesday night. I know Bruno got a couple of assists, but Tonali I thought he was good in patches as well against Liverpool, but just really, really, I wouldn't say it was bizarre. I wouldn't say it was.
I think
it's just strange, isn't it? It's just really peculiar.
Because Anthony Gordon, arguably, yes, I know his form hasn't been as good as last season, but him and Isak had an absolutely unreal link-up play on Wednesday night, and then Gordon's find himself on the bench. I can only think it has to be some sort of niggle, or he's got a tweak somewhere or something like that, because you start your best players in your best positions, and that worked on Wednesday night. We got a good, credible point, and I kept saying banging the drum. December's a massive month for Eddie Howe, and it's not started well. 1 point from 2 games.
Well, 2 points in 4 games. If you look, 2 points in 4 games since the international break. That's how you got to look at it as well. That's not what Newcastle United fans thought they were going to get from the first 4 games, considering we've had West Ham at home, Palace away, Brentford away. You know, on paper, games where you can get more than 2 points from those 3 games. Liverpool's almost a bonus in some respect. But it was Brentford that got the first goal after 8 minutes. It just lost the ball in the midfield, just being really, really picky in that midfield. And I think it was a mixture of Longstaff and Livramento in that right-hand side area. And Brentford nicked the ball back, and the player switched towards Mbeumo, who would absolutely walk at this Newcastle United team. Absolutely outstanding for Brentford today. Drives in on his left foot towards Lewis Hall, and it's 1-0 with a fantastic effort. No chance for Nick Pope, but it was a disastrous start, really.
Yeah, but Lewis Hall has to be doing better. He knows the strength of a winger, and look, I do think Bryan Mbeumo is one of the best in the league, and I think, no disrespect to Brentford, he'll play, if he doesn't play for us, because we would love him, he'll play for the big 6 without a shadow of a doubt. He's come on leaps and bounds in the last 2 years, and you've got to put him down the byline. If you allow him to come in, Lewis Hall's allowed that. It's a good finish, but you can't allow that. You just can't.
Get him down his right. He's a little bit less, effective down the right-hand side, but it's still a really, really poor showing. Newcastle didn't take long to equalise.
That was the positive.
That was
we bounced back really quick.
We did, and it was Alexander Isak. It was almost like a cross shot from Longstaff, and it was a flicked header from Isak, and no chance of flecking. And that was 1-1. I think game on with, yes, we've had the error, but it was game on 1-1. We looked prominent. We were the better team in the first half. As much as we talked about the second half being absolutely atrocious, the first half we were the better team. It's as simple as that.
He's on form, 6 and 7. 6 and 7 for Alexander Isak, and he probably should have scored that one when he went.
No, he has to score. No, he has to score. He's done it at Chelsea. He has to score. You take it around the goalkeeper. You don't have to think about it. Just put it in the net.
Why is he doing that? Obviously, the instinct with the goal is brilliant. But that one where we've seen it at Chelsea, what is it?
He's giving the keeper time to come back and get a hand to it for today. With Flecken getting his hand back just to push it away. Just put it in the net, as John Anderson once said.
Get it? Is he trying to score a pretty goal? I didn't get it, but look, we bounced back 1-1. And it was early in the game, only 11-12 minutes played or something like that. Back in it, and with right, how then? Let's reset, let's go again.
Bruno had a chance on the edge of the box that just went wide. Jacob Murphy was causing problems, and you think, well, this is what we need. Get into the positions. Like Sean Longstaff hit the crossbar before the first Brentford goal, and you think, right, we've had chances. It's not a case of that. But silly errors, and Harvey Barnes with a silly error who come in for Anthony Gordon on the left hand side, places a crossfield ball in the middle of the park, and Yoan Wissa takes the loose pass and drives forward and on the edge of the box with a lovely curling effort. I've seen it a few times in the TVs and the Gtech. It's a great finish, no chance for Nick Pope, and it was 2-1. You're thinking, what are we doing? Just if we can be sensible and not be absolutely stupid at the back or make errors, we don't concede goals like that.
Bond is a fault, but where's the pressing? Where's the closing doing on him? He's got all the time in the world just to side foot one past Nick Pope on the edge of the box. We've gone from like having one of the best defences and going absolute shit show the last 2-3 games.
Why?
I cannot. Is it the imbalance? Because Liverpool, yeah, you might say that's a one-off. It's Liverpool. They'll score 3 or 4 past most teams. But Brentford putting 4 past one, man. 4. And we're meant to be this team that have got all the money and, well, I say money. Trying to break into be the big 7, if you want to call it, or the big 8 with Villa, if you can class them in. Can it allow it? It's a good finish. And I said to you, Brentford have scored through the best 2 players. You can't allow it.
Yeah, they caused us havoc all afternoon, if I'm being really honest. But again, Newcastle capitalised on being so poor by actually scoring again pretty early on from being 2-1 down. It was Harvey Bonds rectifying his error. And fair play to him. I'll give him that. Fair play to him. You know, probably felt proper down as soon as it goes 2-1, thinking, shit, my errors cost us and we're 2-1 down. But after a short pass on the edge of the box, he takes a touch and buries it in the bottom corner. You think, right, brilliant. Desmond back in it again. Brilliant to see.
Yeah, good.
And he gets involved with a run down left-hand side, crossing it in, and Jake Irvie just heads over the crossbar for 3-2. Newcastle should have been ahead at the break at the very least.
He's redeemed himself. That's what you ask. If you put an error in, go on then. Go and put it right, and he did. So he's back level. Newcastle are back level. That wind is very, very strong in them high buildings. That is mental. It's not going to pick it up with the mics, but all the plastic around this new buildings are going mad. But we were saying half time, we can win this. We can go in and win this because we've seen it with Liverpool. We were great first half. It kind of died off second half, but today, that second half, fuck me, man.
I don't get what was the plan in the second half. There was no real.
I think game plan. We had a chance, didn't we, at the start of the second half, and then it just fell to tits. I think Brentford were good, but I also think we were. You just look at the goals that we've given away, similar to Liverpool. We're just giving them the ball.
That third goal for Brentford, which I'll talk about now, is absolutely appalling defending. It's absolutely abysmal. We're talking about one long ball from a goalkeeper on a free kick, and Fabian Schär can't deal with the first one. No one's following the run from the flick on towards Nathan Collins.
Man.
But he puts it in the back of the net, Lee, and that's 3-2, and you just knew that was a disaster for us. We had to keep it as 2-2 as long as we can, and then hopefully an individual bit of talent would get us over the line with the likes of a Wilson coming on or a Gordon coming on. Bloody hell, Storm Tower is here and it is awake, but again...
We're only being protected because we've got a building in front of us, yeah.
But 3-2, and it was absolute disaster, but you can't say Brentford didn't deserve it.
Yeah, I thought Brentford were really good tonight, but I do think that we helped them. We gave them a couple of assists towards their goals, similar to Liverpool. And we've gone from barely conceding to just shipping in goals left, right and centre. But individual errors, a lot of them. But look, that's not taking anything away from Brentford. I thought they were absolutely brilliant going forward. The movement, causing
pass and go. They've
got a great record here. What's it now? 7.
They haven't lost at home in the Premier League this season.
They've played 7-1-6 or something like that. It's mental. Really hard players that they've come down because we've got a good record here, and that's gone out the window underneath. But even then, you think about the first 2 goals. Right, where's the reaction again? There wasn't. No. It just fell apart, and it's worrying.
Kevin Schade, who didn't start today, Thiago got his place at Brentford, linked up well with, and Bryan and Mbeumo once again involved, and dinked it over Nick Pope, and that was 4-2. Tonali had a header, Miggy had a shot when he came on, which went over the crossbar. That was probably the best it had got, and it ended at 4-2 to Brentford. Really poor goal at the end as well.
And also, I think the fans, I don't know if it'll be picked up because it wasn't streamed on live TV, but there's a few fans. Just what I will say is, they weren't very happy at the end, put it that way. A few fingers were being pointed, a few V signs, were getting pointed at the players. It wasn't good enough today.
I think the second half wasn't good enough. I think the first half was fine if you take your chances and you don't make silly mistakes as what we did. But it did finish Brentford 4, Newcastle United 2. Eddie Howe would have expected a bit more probably for the first 4 games since the international break. I'd love to know what he made of this game. Eddie, what did you make of yesterday?
The feeling is disappointment and sadness really on what we've delivered today. Conceded 4 poor goals. Can't defend like that if we want to win games. There was some good attacking play. There were some good moments for us in the game, but ultimately very disappointed. Yeah, I don't doubt the qualities that we have, the mental qualities, the physical qualities and the technical qualities. I think it's there, but we can't put it together for 90 minutes. Yeah, really disappointed with the goals today. I mean, we can't defend like that. Individual mistakes connected to each of the goals and collective mistakes. We have a lot to reflect on, and we will bounce back. That's the challenge that we face at the moment, is being consistent enough to produce performances that enable us to produce a string of wins, a string of positive performances and results. We're stuck in that moment where we're a bit up and down. We don't know what we're going to deliver. We've got a lot of work to do with the players to try and rediscover our best form. I think it's there. You can see it's in flashes. You can see in moments in games where we look a really good team, but we're just one thing or another seems to affect us.
I'm going to go straight into it. The individual errors and the second half performance. It was so bad. It was so bad. Every single goal had a mistake, and we can't go to places like Brentford in the form that they are at the Gtech and expect to get anything if we can make 4 errors like we did. You can't concede 4 goals. You can't concede 2 goals in some games nowadays and get away with it. Why is it such an issue for Newcastle United defensively at the minute?
I can't put my finger on it. I think a lot of players today, even Bruno, were just well under par. So many. So you look at think, right, okay, if to dig yourself out a hole, you need 1 or 2 your better players to show up. I think Isak did. Yes, that open goal, you should know a lot better, but I think Isak's the best player on the pitch. And I'm not going to lie to you, one of them's going to go at the end of the season. One of them's going to go, because we're not getting European football. We are not. We're falling down the leagues now, and I'm getting sick of it. So I'm trying to keep my emotions in, but being honest at the same time, because that's what you get from this channel. The emotions that I've got now is I've swung Eddie Howe out.
Why?
For the first time. I think I'm not fully Eddie Howe out.
Because you will get criticism, because there'll be fans that'll be out there, Leo, that'll say, you know, he's done so well for this football club. He's going through a bit of a rut. You don't have to give him a little bit more time, a little bit more patience. I'm
not demanding Eddie Howe out. If the club was to sack him, I'll be disappointed for him. But I'd be like, it's a shame. That's where I'm at. But if the club was to, not yet, because I did keep saying, I'll reiterate, December's a big month. If we start falling down that league table, he has to. He has to. And I'm probably at the stage now where I'm 60% out at the moment. Before today, I was 50-50. The Liverpool game, I'm not saying it papered over cracks, but what it did do, it brought a little bit of positivity back, because it was a good result against the league leaders. And I've met Eddie Howe. I had the pleasure of meeting him. I like him. I think he's done wonders. Got to a cup final. I love the stuff that we've got in Champions League nights and stuff like this. But if the club want to be ambitious, if they don't get European football, he will go. He will be sacked. But if we're hovering around 13th, 14th, because I think that's where we're hovering, and I haven't seen all the results, but he needs to win games very, very quickly. And he still has, for me, he can change my mind by the next few games. But if we're still hovering, losing the way I said to you off camera, the team loses like that, a manager gets sacked for results like that. And Eddie Howe does have time banked because of what he's done, so that's where I stand with him. But it can't keep going on. It can't, because there'll be more and more, and I haven't turned yet. I've just slightly gone past, but I'm not even going to look at social media, because there'll be more, and that'll crank up. It'll get crank up, and it's very, very tough to obviously face it front and go all the games and all the money that we've put in. Obviously, you go up at 5 a.m. I've had literally 1 hour sleep, and I'm going to go back to the hotel and edit videos. And obviously, we do that. We do like this sort of stuff that we do. We bring us, but at the same time, it's like, fuck me, it's negative. And I look at those other clubs worse than us. Of course, there is.
Yeah. Hey, look,
it's from where we've come.
Yeah.
We've has he taken us as far as well that we can? I don't know.
I think today, I'm not Eddie Howe. I'm not as far as you, and I'll explain why. I do think that he's a minute away from a Palace win. I know the Palace performance is absolutely shocking, but he's a minute away from a win there. Some bad mistakes today. Liverpool, on another day you win that game. But I still think he needs to be getting more out of the individual talent, and I do think some of them players need to be playing a lot better.
Is that not down to the manager though?
It is, and I cannot.
And look, and just to go on my top back to me as well before I get pelt as in a comment as well. He wasn't backed properly in the window.
He wasn't backed.
And he even said with the Simon Jordan interview that it wasn't just Mark Gahey, as we believe that Paul Mitchell come out and said it was one player only. He does need backed, but he needs results just to get him to January. Because if we lose, I don't think he gets to January.
The next 3 games are massive. You know, Leicester at home, Brentford at home in the Cup, and Ipswich away. I said in the drive down before, or the train down rather before, the next 4 games, including today, you know, we're winnable on paper, and you can build from this. He needs to get something going. He needs to get a run of games.
7 points from the next 3.
Well, it's a cup game, isn't it? The Brentford one at home, but
imagine if we go out with Brentford.
That's that. Well, if we play like that and Brentford play that like they did today, then we will be out. This is the Premier League table. We are in the bottom half. Aston Villa have beaten Southampton, and Manchester City have drawn at Crystal Palace. Manchester United, Nottingham Forest are playing as we're recording. But if Man United go above win today, they'll be above us. I think we'll be 13th or 14th in the league. That's not what you want. Where you want to be when you're not playing European football and you're playing 1 game a week most weeks.
He's got no excuses. He hasn't got an injury ravaged squad. It's 1 game a week, on most weeks. He's got to get the best out of the players, the system. There's little things the last couple of weeks. There's 1 or 2 individuals on our channel that want him out. I won't mention them. They'll come on video and mention that as well. But I'm just past that now. And look, I can easily be brought back. I really can. But I think it's a massive month, and he has not started it well.
It'll be really, really interesting to see what happens going forward. Leicester's next Saturday, which was a massive game at St James's. I think the fans are still with Eddie Howe. I really do, in terms of the match-going fans. I know there's a couple of people in the away end today that weren't. I'll be honest with that. But look, 1 win can make a massive difference, and we have got some winnable games on paper, as I've said. I just think when you look at the substitutes that came on today,
like for like,
it was like for like, and it was like. I hate to say it, but I do think that the players, I'm not saying they're down in tools, but I just think they need to be offering more. I'm looking at the players that we've got. I'm looking at the individual talent today. Like Bruno and Joe Linton were miles off it today. I thought Sean Longstaff was okay. I don't think he was that bad or that good. Tonali didn't really do anything when he came on. I'm looking at midfield, just thinking you can give us so much more today. You can give us so much more.
There won't be
massive disappointment.
There won't be at Newcastle come the summer.
Yeah, but with the greatest respect,
if we don't get European football,
they should be playing that. They should be working their arses off to get us there. If they want a bigger move, or they want to be playing for a team that are regular in the Champions League, you need to be doing it here. You don't just be in a position where you play like that every week and you get a big move. That does not happen. It just does not happen.
Look at all the performances across all of the season. How many times have we come out the ground and said we played well today?
Not many.
How many we've had now in the league? How many games we've played in the cup as well?
I think it's 14 games,
including the cup as well. Probably 3.
Yeah,
that's not good, Johnny.
It's not. It's really not. Look, I'm sure there'll be loads of comments coming in, talking about this performance, talking about the manager situation, talking about the player situation. I'm more annoyed with the players today than the manager. I really am. I think it was some woeful defending. Absolutely woeful defending.
And I hope that, yes, Bruno will probably post. I hope there's 1 or 2 more.
What summed it up for me was Bryan and Mbeumo nearly making it 5-2 at the end, with Nick Pope
just playing around with him, like the ball control and little back heels and that.
What's Nick Pope doing on the halfway line, man? Just honestly, the mind boggles. It could have been 5-2 if it wasn't for Dan Burn clearing off the line. Look, I think we should wrap it up here, because I think it's just getting so frustrating talking about this club at the minute. They've got a week to try and turn it around. Leicester at home next week is a massive, massive game for a lot of people. God knows what the start 11 will be. God knows what Eddie Howe's future's going to be if it doesn't improve the next couple of games, because there'll be a lot more questions than there is right now. Look, we do all these videos. We've been up since the early hours in the morning, getting here to watch this. If you can like the video and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, we do greatly appreciate it. This is part of the TalkSport network as well, so make sure if you want to go back to any of the previous last words as well, they're all on there as well.
So your pods with Sam?
Yeah, the Green and Mullen show.
So is the NUFC Women podcast. They're all on there.
Yeah, and just a quick one. Newcastle women are in the FA Cup action tomorrow. Me and Lee will be there at Kingston Park against Middlesbrough. Slightly earlier kick-off of 1 o'clock if you want to come along to Kingston Park. So it's a 1 o'clock kick-off. And Newcastle women hopefully will try and cheer us up with a win rather than what the lads have done today.
I'm looking forward to that because obviously Middlesbrough have a lot of ex-Newcastle players. They've got like 9 or 10 and the manager's a Geordie, so I think that'll cheer up tomorrow.
I hope so, it better do. But yeah, from a very windy Gtech Stadium.
They'll probably just think that we're down the quayside.
We are.
But we are.
Look, there's a Brentford sign just there for people that don't know. Yeah, but from a very...
Full of flats, isn't it?
Yeah, full of flats. From a very windy Gtech Stadium. We'll see you all very soon.